Hello! I just recorded a YouTube video. Hopefully that would have been up. You would have seen my table is a mess right now, but I have a wonderful long weekend and I'm thinking about putting together a vlog for it, but I'm not really sure how it's gonna go. Last time I tried to do a vlog, I decided it was too boring. So we'll see if this one works out. And I have a couple things going on this weekend. Today is my mom's birthday, so I will be spending some time with her. And my kid and husband are both at work today, so it's just me and Sadie girl here. So once I'm done with all my mom festivities, I might come back and finish up The Toll by Neil Shusterman and finish the Arc of Sight series. And then maybe we will read one of these books that I have hauled in the last 6 months. Initial plan, and I might still be able to do it if I finish The Toll on time, was to start on Full Metal Alchemist this weekend. Right now, storygraph says I have over 100 books that I own that I have not read in the fiction section. And about 18 of them are these guys. So I don't think I'll finish the series. I don't even think I'll do like 5 books this weekend. But that was one of my thought process, was that if I could knock out a couple of these, I could get it down to 2 digits of unread owned books, possibly. So that was my original plan. Another thought is to read some of the shorter standalones I have. This whole camera is like this, so I feel so bad. I'm sorry. So we'll see what I'm feeling like doing, but this is my 100th attempt at a vlog. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Oh my goshies. I think I overestimated how much I could do. So I took my mom to Paris Baguette, which is this new bakery franchise that opened around here. Then I picked up Indian food. And because her parameters was to pick food that I like that she's never tried, but, you know, secretly also she might like. So that was a fun game I had to figure out this morning. So we did Indian food. We went to her house, which her house is kind of far from my house. And then I realized I lived near my house. So then I took her to my house and then we went to the store. So we could like kind of shop a little bit. It was great. I got some new clothes, which is always nice. And I take her all the way home. And now I'm home. And it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm exhausted. But I did start Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes on my drive. And the first chapter was pretty long. I lied. I'm 1 chapter in. 1 chapter is nearly an hour. Oh my gosh. You look like you're cooking. What do you want? And so far, the departure from first-person Katniss to third-person Cornelius is kind of interesting. I think it gives it a feel of like, just, it feels different. The tone feels different. It feels like we're watching the bad guy. I think that might be the point. But so far it's interesting-ish. I can't get into it. The first chapter seemed to just be about him worrying about his shirt. So, I don't know. I am now going to read a little bit of The Toll, and then I'll probably pop in my headphones and listen to more of Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes and put all these books away that I took out for another video. What do you have to say? Nothing. Nothing. Now that I've sat down to read, I kind of want a snack. This is half of a coffee cake, coffee roll or something like that. So that's what I'm gonna eat. snack on. Oh my god. I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. I'm trying to keep it spoiler free. But oh my gosh, this is nuts. What just happened? On page 345 of the Toll, chapter 31. It's kind of crazy how much of this series is about killing people that I'm still so mortified and like shocked every time they kill people. I think that's good for my morality though, right? Okay, hello. So me and my sisters went and got piercings. I got a second hole. I got these little black hearts. They're gonna be in for a while. It's pretty cool. I haven't gotten my ears pierced since I was a little girl, and I got the like gun piercing, and this lady did like a bull-ass needle. So it kind of hurt, but it was good. And one of my sisters got her industrial, and another one got her eyebrow pierced. So lots of fun. And then we went and got Indian food for the first time. I snapped a quick picture. It was delicious. It was a little spicier than we thought it would be, but it was very yummy. And I freaking love plantains. That's what I learned from this whole experience. I had coffee, so I'm a little shaky because me and caffeine have like a love-hate relationship, especially when it comes to coffee. And then me and my sisters chatted for quite a long time. And so it is 4 o'clock on Saturday, and I have not done any freelance work, which is I was supposed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. Then hopefully we can have some dinner and read the rest of the Toll. And this caffeine is definitely making me, I don't know if it does that to anyone else, but I'm feeling kind of jittery. So I might not even be able to listen to ballads of songbirds and snakes. I might have to just listen to music to work. This is the fit. Whew, I'm out of breath. We just took a very quick walk. I'm trying to get 8,000 steps today. I have like 100 left, but that's fine. I'll get it by the end of the day. I'm gonna make myself some dinner. It still looks like not dinner time, but it's 6. And yeah, I've been working. I'm doing some freelance work that is a little bit of animation, but it's just the first go at it. I probably should have started it earlier. I always underestimate how long these assignments take, but this is not a vlog about design, so let's just get to the next thing, which is making some foods, and then we will read. I have been craving like a sandwich, which is very rare for me. Probably because I've been eating a lot of curry, soups, and stews lately, and I just want something crunchy and like, yeah. We're gonna eat and read and see if Sadie Girl eats. She might not eat because her favorite person is not here. It's crooked. Hello. It is 8:30 at night, and oh, the sunset's actually really pretty. So it is 8:30 at night on Saturday, and my dog was on the bed with me, but she's decided to keep an eye out just in case. Nothing's gonna happen for her. Her favorite human is out in the woods. So, reading updates. I did listen to a couple more chapters of Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I am in the middle of chapter 11. I'm not sure if it is the narrator I don't like, the story, or both. It's just, I'm not interested. It's not that it's boring, because it definitely has some merit to it. In comparison to the first 3 books, though, I feel like it just doesn't hit. I think I'm not interested in these characters. I'm not invested in them. And I think it might be the narrator. The way he tells the story feels very omniscient, like he's not in the story, and I can hear that he's trying the voices, but it really doesn't quite get to me. And then the way the book is written too, though, I think is just so... I definitely think Suzanne Collins is trying a different style in this book, because it feels so removed. I feel so removed from the story. I think the basis of it is interesting. We're finding out how the Hunger Games was formed to be what we know, but I almost don't care. I'm not sure if it's like a me thing, like I don't care because I already believe humanity could do it. So like, why am I, what am I learning from this, Suzanne Collins? Just that, like, how a leader becomes evil. We all know this, I think. I don't know. And, I hate when I'm hypercritical, and I hate when I'm disinterested, because it's very hard for me to explain something while having common decency, because I am just like trying not to be mean about anything. But I will say this book has been difficult for me. I am doing some freelance work right now, so I definitely could use a book, but I find myself being like, I'm just gonna listen to music instead. Because I'm not interested. I'm not really interested. I haven't been able to read more than a couple pages in The Toll, so tonight I'm going to read The Toll. I'm gonna read as much as I can. I normally do not sleep very well the first night I'm here by myself. It's such a double-edged sword. I love being by myself. It's like growing up as an only child thing, like this little trip that they make, my son and my husband make every year. It's such a nice like time for me to see some people, but I usually love being a potato at home, having my house to myself, not having to feel like I need to feed anyone else but myself and my dog. And I love it. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna be home all day and just do me. Unless it rains, then they come home, that's fine. But the first night by myself, it's always hard. And then I had coffee earlier, which has made me kind of nauseous. And so I think I'm gonna be up for quite a while tonight. I'm gonna try to finish this. And then I usually put on something. I can't put something on the TV to fall asleep because the TV's broken. I'm so disappointed now. I might sleep on the couch. Good morning. It is Sunday. What I'm gonna do is finish this book. I was so close, but I kept falling asleep. And at one point I tried to go to sleep, and for an hour I was still awake. But then, so I turned the lights back on and read more. And so that's how I got to where I was. And I will say that this is dragging a little bit. So by 1 a.m. I was knackered out enough. I was tired enough to then finally go to sleep. It is 7 in the morning. I've got myself some tea. I'm going to finish this, upload some of the footage from these past few days onto my computer while that's going on. And I'll be back to kind of tell you what I'm going to read next and what I'm doing next. And I am finished with The Toll, and I'm finished with the Arc of the Scythe trilogy. I don't think I love this world enough to read the fourth book, which is, I think, just a bunch of short stories called Gleanings. And I don't think I love this world enough, or any of the characters enough. Well, I guess it depends. I did see that the author is putting out a prequel to the Arc of the Scythe series, but there's so much in all of these books about before that I don't know what else we could get that's new from it. I basically found the whole series to be good, but not a favorite of mine. And my son just started reading it, which is a lot of fun for me. And I wonder how he will feel about it, because it's definitely more sci-fi than fantasy. And this last book felt a little bit of a drag to get through. I'm gonna make myself some toast. I have some leftover breakfast from yesterday I'm also gonna eat. It's just some yogurt and granola. And I'm debating on what to read next. I think I'm going to try to whittle down my physical TBR, at least in the eyes of Storygraph, by reading a couple of Full Metal Alchemist books. One, so I can start that series, and two, so that I can get like 18 read books much faster than some of these little novels. This series kind of put me into like a weird reading slump, and I feel like listening to Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes has not been a very positive experience so far either. So maybe we just need to shift. We need to shift to some manga, which is my favorite way to get out of a reading slump. It's manga and webtoons. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Hello. So I just finished the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist. This is the Full Metal edition. And these editions all have some foiling. They're all very pretty. I believe there are about 6 chapters in each one. And if you know anything about Full Metal Alchemist, you can skip this part. Basically, Full Metal Alchemist is about 2 brothers who know the art of alchemy. Alchemy is this scientific, magical system of equivalent exchange. So if you put in some grass, an alchemist can then make a flower. Usually it's like 1-to-1. And these Elric brothers started studying alchemy, and then their mother got sick and died. This is kind of a spoiler, but kind of not. It's the basis of their whole journey. So once their mother died, their older brother, Edward, decided to try to revive her, even though that is taboo in the alchemy realm. And when they tried this, because they're children, I want to say they're like 11 years old at this point when they're trying this, because he becomes a state alchemist at 12, and he becomes a state alchemist to get money and stuff. But anyways, at around 10 to 11, these 2 brothers try to do this illegal thing, and in exchange of trying something that's so taboo, Edward loses his leg, and his brother Alphonse loses his whole body, and Edward then kind of creates a seal onto this suit of armor that was in the same space as them, and puts his brother's soul into this suit of armor. And as he's doing that, Edward loses an arm. We are following them right now as they are looking for this sorcerer's stone or philosophy stone. I can't remember what they call it specifically, but yes, it's very much like Harry Potter. And we are following them as they're trying to get their bodies back, especially Alphonse, because he has no body at all. We follow them throughout a couple different places, and we're meeting a lot of characters in this first volume. It does follow the anime Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood pretty closely, but I feel like there was an episode or a chapter in here that wasn't portrayed exactly in the anime, but it's been a bit since I've watched it, so that might be why. It is almost 10 o'clock, and I need to work a little bit, so I'm gonna work and try to listen to Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, but I'm hoping to pick up at least 2 more volumes of this today and get some of my physical TBR knocked out. Hello. I'm gonna show off my really crazy curl lunch. It's leftover pastries from Paris baguette, my other half of the banana, and just some carrots to round it out. And they are like ashy as heck, but we're gonna try to eat them anyways. I finished my freelance. Nope, I did not finish. I finished another animation for my freelance work, and I have 1 more to go. During lunch, I'm gonna eat at my desk and type up summaries for what I've finished, and this is probably lesser known. I don't know, do y'all know this? I'm sure you guys know this, but part of being in this book community for me is to write out notes and thoughts and such so that I don't sound even more scattered than I already do. And so that's part of my process, and I really like it. It helps me like get a lot of thoughts out, even though I'm not good at any of this, I don't think. But yeah, so I'm gonna nom on this while typing that. I am 42% through Songbirds and Snakes, and they're in the middle of the games now, and I can't get myself to give a shit about either of these characters. I don't know if it's the narrator. I don't know if it's me as a person. I'm reading this, but I don't really care. And the only thing I kind of care about is the formation of these games and how they became this kind of reality TV show spectacle, and that's kind of interesting, but really the focus so right now is just on like these, I think it's got the same quality of like a thriller where these people are just unhinged, and I don't get it. Like why is there no one checking these people? And I guess there's a character in here that's trying to, but he's a kid, so the opinions he's voicing, but I don't know. I just don't quite get it. And I think it's the same. It's totally the same feeling as when I'm watching or reading thrillers. And I'm like, how do these people get left unchecked? These people are insane. But it happens in real life. So yes, I'm going to go type, and I'll come back. We are after lunch, after walkies. Okay, she didn't hear me. And after recording another video for another vlog, I'm ticking all these boxes, and I have written my summaries. So I also need to take some pictures for Instagram, but I am trying to potato today. Please let me potato. In honor of potatoing, we have books 2 and 3 in Full Metal Alchemist on the couch, and I'm gonna get to reading. I might go grab a blanket. I am so excited right now because Alphonse is my favorite character. This is my favorite color, and 2 is my favorite number. It has to be a banger, right? I think you're crooked. I finished both volumes, 2 and 3 of Full Metal Alchemist. It's a fantastic time. I like spotting the little differences. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think if you like fantasy and you like exploring humanity, and there's definitely like political and military in this manga, but I've never felt like it was so overly so that I didn't like it. Speaking of military and politics, my sister-in-law was telling me about this documentary series called Turning Point, and she was talking about the Vietnam War one. And since I'm home alone and no one is fighting for the TV, I thought I would try it and see what it's about. My parents are actually from Vietnam, but I don't know very much about the Vietnam War, except what we learned very briefly in school. And I thought it might be good to learn a little bit and see what it's like, and also just take a break from reading. And then we'll see what we do next. I fell asleep a little bit and had to rewatch parts of the documentary, but my mind is blown. I know nothing about the country my family comes from. It's kind of crazy. I knew some of it, but very little. And I do like learning more about historical facts, and we always learn a lot about other wars, but it is hard. It's not something my parents talked about when I was growing up because I think a lot of it is still really scary to them. And I lost my dad when I was 19, so he was probably the one that would talk about it more. But I do wonder if my mom would talk about it more now because... Sorry, I got distracted by a bird. Just because it's been so long, and she has started talking a little bit more about it from time to time. So I wonder if I tell her that I watched this, if she would be willing to talk about it. But anyways, I'm gonna make my dinner. It's gonna be a hodgepodge of leftovers. And I think we're gonna start a new book. I want to finish a book in the next 2 days. So I think I'm gonna go for a shorter book, and this is the one I've picked out. It's like one of the shortest books I own. It's called A Magical Girl Retires by Park So-young, translated by Anton Her. First of all, the cover was what really made me want to buy this book. And it's based on a millennial turned magical girl must combat climate change and credit card debt in this whimsical and widely imaginative ode to magical girl manga. It just sounded like a lot of fun. And it's super short. It's like less than 200 pages. It's 150... 100? That's a note. That doesn't count. That's a note. It's 154 pages. The type is huge. There are chapter breaks that have imagery. So I think this will be a great way to end this vlog. And also leave room and time for me to work tomorrow and spend time with my family. This is crazy. I ate relatively quickly, but I'm only on the 6th page. This is the 3rd book that I have read where there's 3 conditions that are met. 1, the pandemic has just happened. 2, it is a woman main character. 3, she is talking about suicide. In 2 of these books that I've read, the woman has lost her job and therefore has money issues. I think in The Wedding Person, she did not lose her job, but she has money issues. Not that it matters because she goes and spends all this money on this hotel. But I just think it's crazy that in the past, I don't know, 3 months, I have read 3 books with this premise, not expecting it at all. The only one I was expecting actually is The Drowning Woman because it's a thriller. And they're all 3 of different genres. We have literary fiction, thriller, and like, I thought this was a cozy magical realism, but I don't know if it's cozy, but it says contemporary fantasy. I don't know, but weird coincidences. And those 2 of those books were book club books, so it wasn't books I chose, but then for me to pick up this book as like a little light read, and now we're just talking about suicide and the pandemic and losing their job. So weird. It is 11 p.m. I'm on my last chapter of this book. We're gonna read it together, and I'll give you my thoughts. So I am all done. This is the Naked hardback, by the way. It has like a soft touch cover, so it feels interesting. This is just the image, which I thought was very pretty. So my thoughts on this book. I did finish it. I finished it in like a few hours. This was an interesting book. I'm still sitting on what I would rate this. I'm not sure if it was just that the translation was super simple, and so the book felt really basic, I think is the word. Another word that I was thinking about while I was reading this was that everything feels really shallow. Like, I think there's a hint of a romance in this, or at least like a friendship. There's talk about grief a little bit. There's, I've said that at the very beginning of the book, this young girl, she's 29, so to her, she doesn't feel like a young girl, but, she's contemplating suicide. So for a lot of big themes, it's very shallow. As she's on a bridge, about to basically jump, this other girl who's an officer of the Magical Girls Union comes and says, hey, you're destined to be a magical girl, because that magical girl, and they're all called magical girls, that's why I'm so repetitive about it, she's the clairvoyant magical girl. And so she can see into this kind of compact mirror that she is someone that she needs to recruit and talk to right away. And the book is quite short, so without any spoilers, I would just say this is contemporary fantasy, as in it's in our world in Korea. They are famous for basically being superheroes, but because these magical powers become awakened at times of distress, it only happens to girls, which I think is kind of interesting. There's some play on Sailor Moon, like transforming and stuff, and there's some parts of it that I think is kind of fun and enjoyable, but I'm also a little bit taken aback by how young the main character feels, even though she's 29. The reason why I picked up this book was because this was supposed to, for me, I was like, oh, she's nearly 30, so like I'm in my 30s, so maybe she's more relatable. And I didn't feel that way, unfortunately. I also felt like the world was, like, I think shallow is a very good description of how much this book goes into things. The thing is, like, they're trying to beat climate change, but it doesn't, I don't know, I think they just picked something that is a worldwide problem and issue so that we know that that's like what they're trying to fix. Yeah. Upon kind of yammering about it, and thinking more about it, I think this is probably 3 stars. I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. I read it, but I don't quite think it's anything super special. Hopefully this vlog sees the light of day because I'll edit it and think that I did okay. If you're watching this, happy reading, happy snacking, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Please let me know if you've read any of these books or have any interest, or if you watched that documentary. I think all the things are varied and different, so now you know I'm all over the place. Bye!